Let's start with the obvious. CM Punk and Jack Perry are both suspended for their brawl in All In, patent pending. This knackered plans for All Out, as Punk was supposed to be main eventing in Chicago, of course. Tony also allowed talent to go to Bray Wyatt's service, so some of the lads were missing. So before you judge Tony, his booking and this show, remember everything going on behind the scenes. But let's get into it anyway. AEW Dynamite kicks off with Jon Moxley against Commander. Moxley looks for the Bulldog choke but can't quite get it, so he switches to a Juji Katami armbar for the win. A solid opener considering the pair standing in AEW, you'd have thought it would have been a squash match. We get a backstage segment from All In that sets up FTR and Young Bucks versus Bullet Club Gold. They really pulled this one out of nowhere, but I'm sure it will be good. Chris Jericho is here for a promo after his defeat to Will Ospreay at All In. Jericho says he should be happy after such a big show and a big weekend with Fozzy, but he is devastated he lost and regrets how he treated Sammy Guevara after the match. Jericho brings out Sammy Guevara and apologises to him for pushing him. The two shake hands and then hug as Jericho continues talking about the Ospreay match, saying that he keeps replaying it and wishes things had gone differently. He insinuates that he would have won if Sammy had hit Ospreay harder with the baseball bat when Ospreay was in the walls of Jericho, which Sammy takes issue with. Sammy retaliates by saying if Chris had hit the Judas effect a little harder, then Chris would have won. They go back and forth arguing as Jericho thinks Sammy should be appreciative for being on the show, but Sammy thinks if he wasn't so concerned watching Chris's back, then he might have actually been able to wrestle on the show, instead of just accompanying Chris. Jericho says that if Sammy follows his orders and advice, he might be on All In next year. Sammy fires back and says if he follows Chris's advice, he will know how to lose. Jericho says if Sammy follows his advice, he might actually win the AEW title next time he faces MJF, and Sammy brings up Jericho losing the title outside the steakhouse after Chris won it 4 years ago. I thought AEW denied that happened. They'll conveniently bring it up when they want to though. It's a rewriting of history. Very WWE of them. Jericho thinks that things are getting out of hand and pitches to Sammy the reunion of Lisette's gods, which Sammy does accept as the pair hug again and say they're going for the tag team titles. Wheeler Yuta challenges a heavily bandaged Eddie Kingston for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Yuta rips off Kingston's bandages and puts them in his mouth in a sick spot. Eddie hits a banger of a tope, something we don't see too often from Kingston. Eddie hits a half and half suplex back in the ring and 2 hurricanes to retain the title. After the match, Claudio Castagnoli comes through the crowd to pick up Yuta, not giving Eddie even a glance as Eddie shouts at him from the ring. In a backstage segment, after their match at All In, MJF and Adam Cole find out there will be a battle royal on Rampage to see who will face them for the Ring of Honor tag titles at All In. There will also be a tournament to name a new number 1 contender for MJF's world title, and they will get a match against the champion at AEW Grand Slam. MJF has this Dynamite off, so he is going to Paris to bang some rats and eat some baguettes. That's my world champion, folks. Cole is here for a promo, but he is quickly interrupted by Roddy Strong and the Kingdom, who go on about the Ring of Honor days and say that Cole is a bad friend who has forgotten the past and where he came from. Roddy says he will enter the Grand Slam tournament and win it all to do what Adam couldn't and beat MJF for the world title, as the Kingdom storm off, angry at Cole for not caring about them and leaving them behind. The Acclaimed are here for a ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate their trio's title win. Billy Gunn confirms that Daddy Ass is back. Max Caster goes to cut the ribbon, but Billy points out how small his scissors are and brings out some massive scissors. It's all a metaphor for winky sizes. Bowen says that this new era is the House of Ass, prompting Excalibur to say that's where MJF is spending his week in Amsterdam, which really popped me. Bowen says in this house the champs wear pink and the trios titles are a little dull, so they need a little sprucing up. He shows off the new pink trios titles and shows that they can actually scissor at the back of them. Billy says now he can scissor himself, and Excalibur jokes again that Taz should get that done to the FTW title. Excalibur was on fire tonight. The trio scissor one more time to end a very fun segment. Main event time as Penta challenges Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. Winner faces Jon Moxley at All Out on Sunday for the belt. There's a great spot where Cassidy hits a Canadian destroyer, Penta rebounds and hits one of his own, but then Cassidy hits another one. If you listen closely, you can hear Jim Cornette screaming in a crack den in Kentucky. Penta hits a package pile driver on the ring apron, the hardest part of the ring, don't you know, and rolls Cassidy in for the cover, but Orange grabs the bottom rope to survive. Penta hits another package pile driver and pins Cassidy but only gets a 2 count. Penta is in disbelief, but Cassidy capitalises and he gets the roll-up win. After the match, Cassidy cuts a fiery babyface promo, the likes of which we've never really heard from him. He was really good here, and I loved him saying, "I'm going to retain the international title because I'm Orange Cassidy and I don't have a catchphrase." That line popped me hard again. Jon Moxley comes down and gets in Orange's face as the two have a bit of physicality before locking heads as the show goes off the air. Thank you so much for listening to my recap and review of AEW Dynamite this week. I thought it was a good show considering a lot of the circumstances going on. I'm excited for it all out. I think it could either be amazing or really bad, but I think we're going to enjoy it anyway. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments, let me know what you're excited for about All Out 2023, and also what you think that I can do better as a YouTuber. Hopefully you'll come back, and I'll see y'all next time.